Yeah, ownership. I think that it reminds me of when social media was starting, and I would tell executive producers in TV or the studios or record labels, like, oh, we're starting these social media profiles. And they're like, why? Who's hiring you to do that? And I'm like, well, I'm doing it for my own brand, right? I'm building the brand of me, right? And then people pay me to do what I already love doing. This is my portfolio. So I'm seeing the same thing, it's just a different model and different disruption. It's like, it happens, the cycles happen, which is why when I saw this emerging, I'm like, wait, I've been here before, right? You see it, and then you're able, the more you're going through it, if you went through Web 1, you go through Web 2, then you go through Web 3, if you have that awareness, you start seeing, okay, I see how this works. I see the early adopters pretty much go from one place to the other, and then there's always emerging voices, which is really exciting as well. And so for me, the disruption as a creator is huge. I came up in the time where I had one foot in traditional, but I kind of never got embraced by traditional, and then I had one foot in the YouTube creator movement. So I saw that emerge. I was at the first ever VidCon, which if you've ever been there now is in Anaheim. I was there when it was an event in a basement at a hotel, right? So I saw this whole industry emerge, and I was like, wow, this is gonna disrupt things, which it did. It got us closer to our communities and taking control of our content, and yet it had its limitations, where still YouTube took a big chunk of it. Like YouTube and these social media platforms still own those audiences, even though we felt like we owned those audiences. Of course, creators emerged out of that to do it a bit differently, to create their own newsletters, to build their own sites out of it. But there were still a lot of limitations, and you needed to have resources in the end to do that. So for me, NFTs, and I would say Web3, throws it on its head again. Where one, you are in charge of building that contract, so you're getting a percentage, not just from the get-go, but along the way, as the content, the digital asset increases in value, you have a piece of that the entire time, which is groundbreaking, right? That is the disruption there. And of course, we're using Web 2 platforms to continue to amplify that. We're in a way in a Web 2.5, and so I think as an influencer, as a creator, that's huge. Also for me, in Web 2, yeah, once again, I was an influencer creator, but I was never looked at as seriously as the entrepreneur. That really bothered me. I started What's Trending over a decade ago, and I would say to people, I'm a founder, I'm a CEO, take me seriously. And now I feel like more so in Web3, I get to claim that, and people take that seriously. And I think finally we're in a place of that where I can say to people, I'm a creator, I'm a community organizer, and I'm also a consultant and an advisor and an entrepreneur.